Oh, wow. Hi, everyone. So sorry. StreamYard wears me out sometimes. I think because we ended the first broadcast, I had to start a new one, and then the link was different, and then it was taking it some time to load. So glad that I'm here now. Apologies for keeping our guest waiting. Hi, sis. I can see you. Wow. Thank you so much for waiting. Phew. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would bring you up shortly so that I don't keep you waiting further. Okay, so ladies, we're here today to talk about the topic developing a healthy self-esteem. Remember that we did a past episode and I told you that I was bringing someone else to come and take us further. And today I'm having the privilege to invite my very own sister, a woman I respect so much, a woman that has been in this women business for a long time, very, 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 very long time. And she's known as the confidence coach for women. She is the founder of Wives Roundtable, both the conference, the foundation, and the radio show. So if you've been listening to Inspiration FM, Wives Roundtable, the face you're about to see is the face is the face of the founder of Wives Roundtable. And she's also the author of Balance in Stilettos, a book that helps women find harmony in an overwhelming world. You would agree with me that the world has gotten really busy and overwhelming, and her book is a must read for every woman that wants to be able to live again in the world that we have found ourselves. So, without further ado, I'm bringing in our guest for today, Amaka Chibuzo Obi. Amaka Chibuzo Obi, I'm bringing you in right now. Yeah. Hi, sis.
How
Thank
you
you
doing?
so much for waiting. Here. Ah.
Told you no.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for waiting. I'm not going to even waste your time. I will just
you.
hand over the live stream to you. I
Okay.
will just go to the backstage and hand over the stream to you.
All right. So where are people? Where are they? I hope you all can see me and you can hear me. We are women in tech, whether they like it or not. We're going to be roughing this and we're going to be doing it. The most important thing is to be showing up. It doesn't matter how we fall into the whole thing, we must do it. So I thank Inifome. I know it was a bit of a hassle to get this going, but we're here now, and that's the most important thing. So, a very good evening to everyone, wherever it is you're joining in from. My name is Amaka Chibuzo Obi, like she has already said, and I call myself the confidence fixer, right? I'm a confidence coach for women. Okay, so why do I even call myself the confidence fixer? Because I help women, fix up their self-esteem issues and build confidence so that they can command attention, grow their influence, and just show up to the world the way they are supposed to, right? So that they can live much better, much fulfilling lives. So Inifome asked me to come here tonight, this evening, to talk about building confidence to live again. I remember when she did her live again. It was so amazing, and I was so glad to be a part of that particular initiative. And I understood where she was coming from, right? The whole live again slogan. I know some people will say, what's the meaning of live again? Is it that they are dead? Is it that they died? And all of that. But I, for one, know firsthand what it feels like living a life that you just know is not up to potential. It's not up to your potential. It's not up to the kind of life that you know you can live. So in that instance, it's like you're just going through life, just, one step in foot, one foot in front of the other, not really doing so much as you know you have the capacity to do it, like you're just going through the motions, and that's not a good way to live. And so when women have been able to come to that realization that I'm not living to the fullest of my potentials, I'm not powering at full capacity, and I know that there must be a better way to be and to live. It's at that point that you have decided to live again. Okay. And when you have gotten to that point, it's one thing to get to that point, but it's another thing to be able to now equip yourself to get beyond that point. And that's where building confidence comes in. Um, Please, if at any point the internet goes off or you can't hear me or anything like that, please let me know. Okay. And Ifome, if you're there, let me know if I'm being heard. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. So I would prefer you just stay here so that I know that I'm being heard. Because if I'm alone and just talking to myself, I wouldn't know when the internet, disconnects. So if you're here,
Okay.
I can actually see if the circle is turning, and I'll know that something is going wrong. All right. So
Okay.
I was saying that when you come to that point where you know that there's a better way of being, there's a better way that
Mm.
I can be. Um, this life I'm living is not what I am supposed to be living. It's not how I'm supposed to be showing up to the world. I know that there is so much more inside of me. When you come to that point, that's the point where you have decided to live again. But beyond that point, you now need to equip yourself for the journey after this point. Because coming to this point is one step, but moving beyond that point is another step. A lot of women are at that point, but they've not been able to move beyond that point, because beyond that point you now have to do things that you ordinarily would not do. You now have to be someone that you have probably never been before, and so it might be scary for some people, but it is a necessity. Like, there is no option. That is, if you really and truly want to live to the fullest of your potential. I tell the women that I coach and the women in my community that you were not here, you're not put here on earth to be, you know, among the number, to make up the population, or to escort some certain people that are doing great things. You're not an escort. You were put here for a particular reason. You were meant and made to shine in a certain way. And so if you are not shining in that way that you're supposed to shine, you are disappointing the one who kept you here. Like, living a mediocre life or a less than impactful life is a sin. That's what I tell people. It's a sin. It's not, oh, I'm not that kind of person. Oh, I'm an introvert. Oh, I'm shy. All of these things are things that we tell ourselves to remain in a bubble, to remain small, to remain hidden. Yes, you could be an introvert. I mean, that's a story for another day. You know, when people say I'm an introvert and that's why I don't really show up and all of that, I tell them that that's an excuse that you have learned how to tell yourself to just remain small, because you can be a bold, confident, and vocal introvert. Introversion has got nothing to do with how you show up to the world. Okay, so let's go into how you build confidence to live again. Right? So you've come to that point where you decide that I must move, I must become more. I am tired of how I've just been going through the motions every single day for the past like 4 decades of my life or 3 decades of my life. I want to be more. Yes, you're now here. Welcome, right? The next thing is to build confidence. And how do you go about this? There are 3 ways I'm going to talk about here. And you know, you will say there are just three. Oh, how am I going to do this in just 3 steps, right? But the truth is, these 3 steps are packed. They are really, really packed. The first step is that you need to, okay? Yes, absolutely. Yes. So the first step is that you need to get over your mental blocks. Yes, I know someone will say, oh, they've come again. All these motivational speakers, blocks, this, that. Am I carrying block around in my life? What do they mean? All of that. Babe, the truth is that all of us, I wanted to say most, but no, it's all of us. All of us have blocks that we carry in our thoughts, in our minds. But the difference is some people have been able to learn how to navigate their blocks, while some others, the blocks just fall on top of them and they are overcome. So we all have blocks, but how do you get over these blocks? Now, what are these blocks? These blocks are those thoughts, those beliefs that just sing like mosquitoes in your mind when you want to do something. And they are there saying, you cannot do it. Oh, who do you think you are? You are too small. You are not qualified. You are not pretty enough. You don't speak good English. People don't like you. You come from a poor background. You do. You know what I'm talking about, Sha. So all of those thoughts that just go on in your mind, those are blocks. And where do these blocks come from? They come from our backgrounds. They come from our upbringing. They come from the experiences we've had in our lives. They come from the environment, either the environment we grew up in or even the environment we find ourselves in right now. Because I have lots of women in my community who are married to people that are blocks. Their husbands are the blocks that they have. So all of these mental mosquito flows out from their husbands on a daily basis. So when you find yourself in that kind of environment, it's really tough to be and to do amazing things, because the blocks are not just blocks. They are there every single day, and there are many, and sometimes they are too big or they seem too big. But the truth is that when you learn to identify these blocks, when you learn where these blocks are actually coming from, when you learn strategies that you can use to navigate these blocks, they would not seem as much of an obstacle as they currently seem. All right. So you have to, first of all, get over your mental blocks. I tell a lot of my women that many of the beliefs you have are not facts. Many of the beliefs you have about yourself are opinions of people that you have taken to be gospel. Like and I used to have these blocks a lot, right? I didn't like how I looked. TV was the last place I wanted to be, because I felt like, how can a camera focus on me? How? With this my shiny forehead, with this my fat cheeks, I didn't want to be seen. But the truth is, I'm beautiful. That's fact. But what was the belief that I had that I wasn't beautiful? Because growing up, lots of people would pull my cheeks. They'll call me Ntiaporomono. If you're Igbo here, you know, it's not a compliment. They'll call me Ihu signboard. And so somehow or let's not even go to my legs. Let's not go down there at all. And so somehow you just come to associate yourself with things that are demeaning and unflattering, right? So even though you tell yourself, I'm grown now, all of those things were things that people told me when I was a child. I'm grown now, I'm over it. But the truth is, you're not over it too. Those things are running as background programs in your mind. You know how your system is there, nothing is happening. But if you go behind the scenes of your system and see the billions of transactions that are going on, even as your system is just, still, you'll understand what I'm saying. So, all of these things run in the background of our minds. Some of us grew up in very abusive environments, even from our own parents, right? So, some of us in our childhood, the way our parents knew to correct us was to call us stupid, was to call us foolish, was to ask us, do you have sense at all? I don't think you have sense. In fact, you don't have sense. So you grew up today with all of your qualifications, with all of your certificates, something is still telling you you don't have sense. So when it comes for you to be assertive and to speak up and to show up, you feel like you don't have sense. So you don't. Blocks. Now, for someone who has gone through university, secondary school, then university, then maybe further education, maybe even masters, or even if not masters, maybe additional qualifications and certifications. Please explain to me factually how this person does not have sense. So that's how I'm trying to illustrate how our beliefs most times are not even rational. They are not based on facts, right? But we imbibe them and we allow them run our lives. Some women married to men who constantly put them down. You want to give your husband a suggestion, tells you to shut up. Who asks for your suggestion? Stupid woman. So you keep quiet. But he goes outside and gets that exact suggestion from somebody else. And he comes back to tell you how intelligent that person that gave the same suggestion you gave is. Things like this have a way of battering a person's self-esteem. You begin to second guess yourself. Like, is it I'm not all right? Is it that? Is it that? Is it that? So these are some of the mental blocks. You need to first of all identify them and you need to get over them. Most times you would need help to get over them because some of these hurts and dents have been so deeply ingrained that you may need therapy, you may need coaching to be able to get past them. So that's step number one. Step number two would be to grow your mind. You see, personal development, it's not an option. It's not an option at all. It's not something you should do when you have extra cash. It's not something you should do with loose change. It's not something that you should, let me see. No, personal development should be a must. Like when you are bringing out money for, school fees of your kids, you're bringing out money for house rent, you're bringing out money for miscellaneous. Please bring out money for personal development because it is the background, it is the foundation of how you turn out and how you show up. Don't think that you have developed to, maximum capacity. I've gone to school, I've done all that. See, guys, if you're in the personal development space, you would have heard of Tony Robbins, right? This guy is like the coach of coaches that coach the coaches. So he's like the grandmaster, ancestor of coaches and coaching, right? But Anthony Robbins still has people that coach him because every coach must have a coach until you now get coached by God eventually. So don't take personal development to be something that I will do when I have the time or when I have extra money. Because without developing yourself, you cannot be that person that will bring, the shine to the world. Yes, granted, there are so many people that just stumbled into becoming influential people or becoming people of influence. There are people that stumbled into that one way or the other without personal development. But watch those people. Two things. Either they now begin to, you know, get into personal development and take it seriously, or in a little while they fizzle away. Those are the only two options. So you can't be a person of impact, a person of influence, a person that would really make mark in this world, a person that would live again, really and truly, and last as they live again, if you do not take personal development seriously. So grow your mind. You need to be able to have a mind that is empowered. And trust me, sis, reading one book on empower your mind is not enough. It needs to be a consistent and constant journey. Because every day, the mind is very tricky to start with. Somebody says that you can tame the wildest animal before you can tame the mind, right? So you can't read one book that one coach wrote and you say, I have, you know, it doesn't work like that. It's a consistent and constant journey. And you have to love yourself enough to go on that journey. When I wrote the book Balancing Stilettos, one thing I really tried to make women understand in that book is that you matter too. You matter too. We invest so much on other people. We invest so much outside of us, and we neglect our own growth and development. So every money we have, we spend on either our kids or our husbands or our siblings or our parents. There's always something for us to do, but we don't think of ourselves. So when I wrote that book, I wanted to wake women up to the fact that you matter too. And if you are not powering at full capacity, it's not just yourself that you are letting down. You're letting down your creator. You're letting down your children. Those children that you love with your life and you sacrifice everything for. If you don't grow yourself and develop yourself, you're also letting them down. How do you approach your children to tell them, I need you to be tough. I need you to be bold. I need you to speak up when somebody offends you or tries to bully you. When they look at you and you don't do any of those things, people step all over you. You're not assertive. You go for your children's PTA meeting, you're hiding. You cannot even talk. You come back home, you're constantly complaining, and your child is wondering, but she went for PTA meeting and she didn't say anything now. Do you think those kids are not watching? They are watching. And you are their first role model. You. How many of us today can remember how our moms were when we were growing up, when we were 4, when we were 5? You remember it vividly. Some of us are tough and strong today because we had tough and strong mothers. And so if you don't take this thing seriously and embark on it like it is war, you're not just letting yourself down, you're also letting your children down. You wouldn't want your children to say, oh, my auntie taught me to be strong. It's not be a nice thing. So you need to be out there. You need to grow your confidence. You need to grow your mind. You need to empower your mind so that you can be that mother that your children will look back and say, I wish you had met my mother. She was tough. She was shiny. She is my role model. Okay? So build self-awareness. Be aware enough to know when you are beginning to sabotage yourself. A lot of us sabotage ourselves. Let's take an example where you're in the office and you're a career woman, and you're asked to come and do a presentation to clients, and of course you are terrified of public speaking. Hey, I cannot. What do they want me to come and start saying here now? Hey, everybody will now start. I'll be looking at me. This, that. And so you make up a story. That day, that's the day that my children's open day. I will not be able to make it. Then your boss asks you, which day? Have I told you which day is the presentation? Then you now know that you have messed up. But what I'm trying to say is, all of the excuses that we give in order not to show up, that's us sabotaging ourselves. You try to, hide away and not take up certain responsibilities because you feel like you're not up to it. But the funny thing is, you convince yourself in your mind that lie you told was actually for the greater good, or that it was actually true. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like sometimes when maybe you have menstrual pain, you're having menstrual pain on a particular day, and that's the day that you're supposed to do something, that would put you in the public, that would expose you or something. And then you say, I would have loved to do this thing, if not for this menstrual pain. But you know that the menstrual pain is not painful enough to stop you. But you convince yourself that it's menstrual pain, I will not do it. Please give it to somebody else. That's self-sabotage. Because if I had asked you to come and take $1 million in my house, they never bond the menstrual pain well that would stop you. Do you understand? So, what is priority for you? Are you aware enough to identify the times that you are sabotaging yourself? So these are all the things that come up with self-awareness, with personal development, with growing your mind. You would be able to identify those voices or those things that want to stop you, and you will be aware enough to tell them not today. All right? So that's step number 2. And then step number 3 is get out of your comfort zone. A lot of us, we've been in our comfort zone since time immemorial. I've been wanting to say that. It's been a long time I said time immemorial. English that we used to speak back in the day. So we've been in our comfort zones forever because we feel safe there. And it's actually really safe and comfortable in the comfort zone. But let me burst your bubble. Nothing great happens in a comfort zone. Nothing extraordinary can happen in your comfort zone. Nothing impactful can happen in your comfort zone. So if you remain there, just know that mediocrity is what you have signed up for the rest of your life. Yes, I'm being harsh. I am busting the table with you on top of it because it is time to stand up. Okay? Some of my coaching clients, when I give them assignments to do, and the assignment is one that will take them out of their comfort zones, some of them will tell me to eat the money that they are not doing again. I should take the remaining money. They are done. But they eventually come to realize that that's the only way. There's a reason you actually signed up for coaching in the first place. There's a reason you sought help in the first place, because you know that the way you are is not satisfying you. And see, baby, do you know that it's only one life you have? And if you live this one life dissatisfied, whose loss? Whose loss? There is no do-over. There is no this thing, extra time or extra life, So it's a disservice to yourself to go through this life dissatisfied, unfulfilled, mediocre. Hey, see, sometimes it's like I should collect cane and just be flogging some, just flog them out because it's paining me. It hurts me to see people with potential just lock all these things in. Why? Why do you think that you don't matter enough to shine in this world? Why? Why? So you remain in your comfort zone because it's warm and fuzzy and it's comfortable. And from there, you're now looking at people doing exceptional things. And let me tell you the truth. Some of these people doing exceptional things are not as smart as you. They are not as intelligent as you are. They are not as qualified as you are. They are not as gifted as you are. And you're on the sidelines watching. All you can do is to say, you don't even speak this English well. You that you can speak it well, where are you? Right? So you need to get out of your comfort zone. Every single day, try and do one thing that just brings you 1 inch out of your comfort zone. I had a woman who came to me for coaching, who is an entrepreneur. She sells food stuff. I went to her page after she signed up for my coaching program. I went to her page. It was all pictures of food stuff. Not a single picture of her. Let's even leave video. No single picture of her. So I asked her, I said, why? Why are you not, showing up? And this woman said, no. We now put my picture and then everybody will now be looking at my picture. Don't you even know that some people can print down my picture and take it to Babalawo? Hey, I've never heard that. Like, I've heard a lot of things, but I've not heard that one. That was a very new one for me. Mental blocks, upbringing. So you think that if you put your picture out, somebody will go to Instagram, screen grab it, print it, then take it to Babalawo and tie you. Her upbringing did a number on her. Because these are things that she had come to imbibe in her life, that people were out to get her, that the world was out to get her. And so she was hiding. That was one of the most difficult work that I had to do as a coach, that I had to do for my clients as a coach. That was one of the most difficult work I had to do. Because you now needed to start going back to try to find out where is this coming from. Before you now try to figure out how is it that you came to believe this. Before you now go to, do you believe that there is a world where this will not happen? Before you now go to, let's even begin to walk towards you coming out of it. Okay? The day she made a video on Instagram and put it up. Hey! If you see me that day, I was walking like somebody that got scholarship to Harvard. I felt so fulfilled. I was so excited because that work I did like this, it was hard. But the truth is, there's so many people like that. There's so many people like that their upbringing, the beliefs that they got, that they imbibed in their lives growing up, had made them just hide away from the world. So as I'm talking, I want you to begin to think about it in your own life. What beliefs have you imbibed today about yourself that is stopping you from shining? What did somebody say to you at some point in your life that is causing you to have low self-esteem today? Some people ask me and say, how do I overcome low self-esteem when the cause of my low self-esteem is my husband and I live with him in the same house? I tell them that you can. Because you see, this mind, as deep as it is, it's also wide. And you can do a lot with it. We build our lives first in our minds. So your husband is not, he's not the one that is stopping you from shining. Yes, he might be the mental mosquito around you, but you can do the deliverance here and begin to live it out here. And once your mind is empowered, sis, the way you now begin to show up, even to that your husband, will change. The way you accept the things that he does, or the way you interpret the things that he does to you, will change. The way you see him as an obstacle will change. Your perception of life and your role in the scheme of things would also change. So start the work with yourself. Leave him. He's on his own journey. Leave him. It's not about him. Okay? It's not about him. Start the work here first. And I'm not saying divorce him right now, because I know that that's a different conversation entirely. But even as you are there, you can still thrive. There are women that want to be career women, or they want to be big entrepreneurs, and their husbands will say, over my dead body, not in my house. You cannot. My wife must remain in the house as a housewife. So you're asking yourself, how do I show up to the world in the way I want to show up when this man is doing this? Babe, there are ways you can do it, even inside the house there. So I'm not saying go and begin to tell your husband, I'm living again. This nonsense has to stop. Please don't do that too. It's a very subtle transformation that would happen. And when it happens, trust me, even him will see it, that it has happened or it's happening. Okay, so get out of your comfort zone. Surround yourself with people that would not allow you be mediocre. Find communities where you would not be allowed to be small. Find a coach. Find an accountability partner. Find someone that would hold you accountable to the things that you say you want to do. Find someone that would not allow you give yourself excuses. Love yourself enough to do this for yourself. Because the truth is that the world may come at us from different angles, but at the end of the day, it's the way we choose to react that matters. It's the way we choose to, assess or accept what the world is throwing at us that matters. So, babes, today, I don't think there is anything that I said today that would come as brand new information to you. But I hope I said it in a way that would nudge your spirit today. I hope I said it in a way that will get you off your butt into taking action. Because it is one thing to decide to live again. It is another thing to truly begin to live again. It doesn't end with the decision that you have made. You have to match that decision with action. Before I leave, I want us to define confidence, because a lot of people don't understand really and truly what confidence is. They think that confidence is about being noisy, being out there, just talking, shouting, being loud. That's not what confidence is. Confidence is a belief in oneself, a conviction, that's a strong and total unshakable belief that you have the ability to meet life's challenges and to succeed in spite of them, and the willingness to act accordingly. So, confidence is, first of all, a belief in yourself plus the ability to take action. That's what confidence is. A belief in yourself that you have the ability to shine, to be impactful, to live a fulfilling life, to live a satisfying life. You first of all have to have that belief. Then you have to understand that you also have the capacity to overcome life's challenges. But it doesn't stop there. You also need to be willing to act in accordance with this belief. So there's some people that trust and believe that they have the capacity or they have the ability to meet life's challenges. If they are Christians, they always quote the Bible. God did not give us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of this and that power. And I know that portion, but I don't really know how to quote it. But you know the parts that I'm talking about. So they will quote that part. Or they will say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. An amazing verse in the Bible. Do you take action in line with this verse of the Bible? Do you actually do things to show that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you? Or do you just make this affirmation and then just leave it there? So for you to be confident, for you to build confidence, you have to first of all believe that you have the ability to live your dreams. You have the ability to go after those things that you truly and really desire for yourself. And then after having that belief, you get off your ass and you take action towards that belief. All right, so that's it today. I said I was going to talk small, but I never end up talking small. So let's put a pin in it here for today. I hope I come again some other time to talk about something else here in this community. So thank you very much, Enifume, for the opportunity.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Ah, please, before I say anything, because in my heart is happy and I'm overjoyed. But I don't want to, I want to put my emotions together because I'm really, really happy. With everything you said, it's not just that you're a confidence coach, it's that you reek of confidence. Sometimes people just say, oh, they say give me names. We have coaches, coach done plenty. Whatever, whatever coach. But when you look at them, you cannot see you cannot see it. And I think that's what you mean when you talk about personal development. It is really important. And that thing you said about if you don't develop yourself is either, in fact, the last part where you said after a while you will stop hearing them. I'm like, so profound. The reason you're going to stay relevant, be relevant, live again, anything, leave a legacy, be something that matters in life. It is the degree to which you take your development, your own personal development serious. And many times we women, we are guilty. We are guilty of taking care of everybody else except ourselves. So when you were speaking, I took notes, and I always take notes whenever anyone is speaking. I learn every day, and I took some notes I would just want to highlight. But I want to know the people that are here. If you are really here, What is the one thing that you're taking away from our guest session this evening? What is the one thing that hits you hard? And you are saying, this thing, I'm going to start doing this thing. And like she said, you may have heard it before, or you may not have heard it before. But it's not just about what you're hearing, it's what you're doing with what you're hearing. So one good step is for you to type it in the comments. Tell me, all of you that are saying, so true, deep, everything. Let's understand if the thing is really still there. Type in the comments one thing that you have learned today from everything that she has shared. I have some things I want to share of what I just, what I heard today, and the things that were really, really, really spot on. But I want to hear from you to know if, did we just come here? Did you waste our time? Or did you actually get value? So please type it in the comments. Man, God will bless you, sis. God will bless you. And you see, the work with women is not an easy one. It's a really hard, it's a hard one. Sometimes, today somebody was telling me, I was trying to help somebody who is being abused, and the person was saying, that the person doesn't really want to, like the person doesn't want to leave, or the person is not responding, or something like that. And I said, the truth is that a woman that has been abused needs extra patience because of the mindset work. And the only way I can explain it to you is with the children of Israel. That's the only way I can explain the damage that happens here from a woman that is abused. The Israelites were abused. It's just that they were not abused by a man, but they were in bondage, and their mindset had gotten very slavery, to the point where even after they left Egypt, Egypt was still in them. So that's the work with a lot of women, where they say, okay, I want to, like when you said it's not just about divorce, that was so spot on. Because I always tell women, I say, if you live as you are like this, as you are like this, if you live and you have not worked on yourself, you will repeat the same mistakes. It's not a curse. It's not a curse. The world out there is not for, it's not for chicken-hearted, lily-livered. When you said that your book, please buy the book. Oh, if you are listening to me, buy that book. Finding balance in an overwhelming world. I'll be finding harmony in an overwhelming world. Balance in stilettos, because the world is going to get. I don't want to use a negative word, but the world is going to get more overwhelming. People are going to be meaner. The people that you said they are mean, you will meet meaner people. If it is that there's no money, you will meet situations where there will be no money. Do you understand? Like, how would you react when you find yourself in such difficult situations again? So it's not just about running away from that place. It's about what are you going to do to become better, which is why I like everything that you did. And that coaching part of you, was very obvious here, where we're going into the roots and trying to help people deal with those things, those real problems, of self-esteem. And I really appreciate you for that. I'm still waiting for all of you to type in your comments so that I can let our guest go. She's been here waiting for us before we even came on live. So please type in your comments. Someone is saying, thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. To stop sabotaging myself. Nothing good happens in the comfort zone. Is it only Oluwakemi that is here? Please, I'm waiting for your comments. I'm waiting for your comments. While I'm waiting for your comments, let me just share some things that she said that were really, really profound. You said being an introvert is an excuse you tell yourself to remain small. Hey, I'm an introvert. Is introvert a disease? Why do you people do it as if it's bad to be like, when you said that one, I was like, hey, legbe. It's an excuse that you're telling yourself. You keep telling yourself, before no, you're 50, 60, 70 years, you're still priding with being introverted. So I really like when you said that one. I had to write it down in my notes. And then you said introversion has nothing to do with the way you show up to the world. Hey, as in that one, it needs louding at the back. It has nothing. It's not. A lot of people that you see out there talking, many of them are introverts. So I'm telling you. So I don't know when people say that I'm an introvert. I'm a very private person. I'm like, And this is not about PTA meeting. I wanted to scream when you mentioned it, because today at the event I was earlier was actually a PTA meeting. I'm like, what is she saying? Like, so spot on. You see them there. And I still told them, I said, you are like this. You want to give birth to a child that is outspoken. How? How now? You are complaining about your child, but your child is, you are modeling the behavior for your child, and you are shouting, slapping your child. Beating is by beating. The problem is not the external. It is not what you are seeing on the outside. And now you're talking, I'm just like, But will people pay people that know their problem to help them solve their problem? Because I don't understand. Everything you're saying now, if you now tell somebody, okay, pay me to come and help you deal with this thing, they'll be like, we have to buy, we have to this. When I tell people, I say, if you're not ready to invest in yourself, you're not ready to live again. There's no, you can't buy book. You cannot pay for course. You cannot, any small thing. You're like, hey, they've come again.
The
I don't
honest
even,
the
ah,
truth is, a lot of people don't understand the consequences of a mediocre life. That's the truth. They don't understand the consequences. They feel like, oh well, okay, I'm not starving. I'm fine. I go out when I want to go out. Like I have some sort of freedom and all of those things. So they feel I'm fine, you know. But what they fail to realize is that there is so much more you can do. And there is so much more you can be, right? You can be better than you are today. And who doesn't
yes.
want better? Who doesn't want better? You can be better. People can rise up today, tomorrow, and say, because of a nifome, my life changed. Do you know the blessing that goes with that? And most times, you can't impact a wide range of people from your small little corner. You can't. So, this life, you didn't come here only for yourself and your immediate family. You know, when I said that living a mediocre life is a sin, it's a sin, no, but people don't know that. They think that it's only lying, stealing, fornication, adultery that is a sin. Let's go back to the Bible for those that are Christians. You remember the parable of the talents, right? I wanted to say when I was little, but even till a few years ago, I used to feel like that master was unfair to that third servant, right? You know, they remember the parable of the talents where the master gave the first one 5 talents, gave the second one 2 talents, and the third one 1 talent, right? And he traveled. When he came back, the first one came and said, Master, you gave me 5 talents. I invested it, and here are 5 more. The second one came, you gave me 2 talents, I invested it, and here are 2 more. The third one came and said, Master, I know that you're a very difficult person. And so I did not want to lose your talent. So I dug the ground and I put it inside. Here is your talent. And the master collected the talent from him and gave it to the one that had 5 talents, that had multiplied it to 10, and asked the other servants to banish the third one and called him wicked and kiniko, used all sorts of terms to abuse him and chased him out. Now, I didn't used to understand. I felt really bad. I felt like it was an injustice to that third servant, because to me, I felt he didn't lose the talent. He didn't throw it away now. Maybe he gave it back to you. So why are you upset? But as I grew my mind and I developed myself, I came to understand why the master was upset. That talent he gave to them was not supposed to be hidden. It was not supposed to be buried. It was supposed to be used and multiplied. So let's bring it from the old days to today. When you use your talent, or using your talent or multiplying your talent, what does it mean? It means what me and Enifome are doing here today. Because today now, I'm reaching, at least I've seen up to 4 or 5 people drop comments here. So a minimum of 5 people today has been impacted in one way or the other by what I'm saying. So today I can go back to God and say, thank you, Father, for you gave me the grace to impact 5 people today. And I'm just saying minimum of 5 people. through my words, through the talent you have given to me, right? But do you know that I can know all these things that I know and not speak at all, not show up at all? And then I will become that servant that has taken that talent, dug the ground, and buried it. So you see that thing that the master told that third servant in that parable. Be ready to hear it from God on judgment day if you don't eventually break free and stand out. So you are not living this life for yourself alone. You are made to multiply and to bring more people to an awareness. It doesn't matter what the awareness is. I'm not saying that all of us should be coaches or counselors, but the fastest way to reach a grand scale of people is by speaking confidently. So you can be a career person. How many people are you reaching with your knowledge in the career space? You can be an entrepreneur. How many people are you reaching? And you cannot reach all of these people if you battle low self-esteem, if you have lack of confidence. You cannot reach them. You will just be in your own little place, only attending to people that come to look for you. That's not enough. So please don't put yourself in the position where your creator will say you're wicked because you did not multiply the talents that you have been given. And please don't get me started with, I don't have any talent, I don't have any gift. That one will have another 1 hour to discuss it, because you definitely do. The only thing is that you may be commonizing the gifts that you have. And most times, from my experience, those gifts that you commonize are actually the gifts that you're supposed to be using to impact the world. So let me stop again.
Hey, yes. I wish I can keep you here till tomorrow. Ah,
I
see, this, God, these things goeth not except by consistency and hitting it. You did not learn all these beliefs and all these things. Who even told you? You didn't learn them yesterday. So you need to really be serious about this, your live again journey. Oh. And I cannot overemphasize it. Living again is not easy. Oh. If I tell you what Amaka had to do to come on live today, like how she literally had to rush off from where she was. We face challenges. See, living again you will face challenges. You would face things that you just feel like turning back. If your mind is not equipped, if you're not strong inside, hmm, please, everything she has said, I'll just summarize. Number one, um, get over your blocks. Number two, grow your mind. And number three, get out of your comfort zone. Please let us take everything that she has said and let us run with it. And if you feel like you need to invest in yourself, stop holding back. There's no other way to live again without investing. And I want to please encourage everyone to buy her book. Buy her book. It will expose you, to open your eyes. It will show you how to live a balanced life. And living again is actually living again physically, financially. Every area of your life needs to be balanced for you to truly say, I'm living again. Your emotions, everything has to be balanced. And that's what the book would help you do. So please follow her on Instagram at Amaka Obi. Yes, now Amaka Obi.
be
Amaka
Amaka.
Chibuzo. There might be different Amakas. Yes,
Yeah.
Amaka Chibuzo Obi. Follow her on Instagram. Click the link in her bio. Buy that book, and it will help you. And just follow her. She has so many things she's doing for women. Every day she's on. Is it every day? Every week. Hi, man, sis.
And
Double
I
toile.
run. I had to leave where I
Double
was.
toile.
Please, I'll.
Abio, let me allow you go. I want to just try and loud you so you can go, then I'll be louding you. No problem, sis. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Bye, sis.
Bye.
So please, people, go to her page. She has a radio show, Wise Roundtable, where she discusses different things about different women. Women that different things, special needs. A woman that has disability. different things. If you are following that program, you kind of you actually learn a lot. So just make you understand that, you should follow her. She's someone that you need, that would really help you, and you're going to really be blessed. So thank you everyone that made it here tonight or this evening. So he's saying, oh my, this is hot. You're just coming, right? So you missed. All right, everyone, let's take everything that she has said, and just run with it. And when she said some women, their husbands are the blocks, it's as if somebody just poured me cold water, because that's actually true. A lot of women are living with the blocks in their house. And when she said, if you're determined, and as you begin to live again, and as you begin to be determined to take yourself seriously, love yourself, invest in yourself, you are changing. And stop focusing on the man. Stop. you know Whenever I coach women that are in such situations, I tell them, my focus is not on the man, my focus is on you. And it might sound like, why not? The man is not your problem. The man has problem, but the man is not your problem. The man has problem. The man abusing you, or abusing whoever is watching this that is going through such. But the man is not your problem. Let's say it again. The man has problem, but the man is not your problem. Like I always say, everything you're thinking is, if you have an issue and you're looking at the outside, you're not really looking at the real problem. Most times, the real problem is not anything outside. It's always, or most times, from inside. The inside controls the outside. So when you fix your beliefs, your mindset, everything internal, the way you see yourself, you fix all those things, your heart, it's just natural for everything outside to align. So I won't talk further. I have another meeting by 7. I won't talk more than this. I believe that we've gotten value. To everyone that made it here, congratulations. You're the real MVP. I will see you in our next teaching by the grace of God. Bye.